Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter Development course brought to you by Newton School. For those of you who are wondering who I am, so my name is Harsh Kumar Khatri and I'll be your instructor for this Flutter Development course. I am currently working as an intern at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and I have been an Flutter developer intern at AppScript, where my primary goal was to work on Flutter applications totally from scratch depending upon the needs. I am also an instructor and have multiple courses hosted on Udemy and Edunix, and those courses have more than 10,000 enrollments in total. Now you must be wondering what Newton School is. So basically Newton School is a platform which helps you to learn and develop your skills that you need for your best tech career. There are courses specifically designed for freshers, working professionals, for women in tech with no prior experience. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and help you become a full stack developer. It also has a network of more than 300 great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once the training is completed, Newton School also ensures that you are placed with one of the best companies in the country. They are also having a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay anything to Newton School beforehand until you get placed with a minimum CTC of 5 lakh rupees per annum. They are also having another awesome initiative known as Launchpad, where they are providing you with some of the courses for free of cost, along with an editor on their website only, and you can work on the courses and practice the code on their website only, and you will also be getting a certificate of completion after completing the courses present on the website. So make sure to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the links given in the description. Now coming towards the topics which will be covered in this video. So in this video I'll be showing you how you can design your UIs for the app you are making. Like you can create your UIs totally from scratch. I will also be telling you how you can get pre-built UIs for your app if you are working on some of the app and you want a UI for that particular app, or you want the idea related to the UI which you want to use inside your app. So I'll be telling you that also, like how you can get them for free. Next, at the last part of the last part of the video, we'll be working on a UI. We'll be coding that UI and we'll be creating that UI totally from scratch. So this will be the flow for this video. Now let's start with how you can design your UI for your app. For designing your UI, there are two different ways which I have used or I have worked on for creating the UIs for my projects or for my Flutter apps. The first one which I used in the initial days when I started learning Flutter was AdobeXD. So AdobeXD is a software which is provided to you by Adobe, where you can create your UIs totally from scratch. It is also having one of the features when which you can use if you are two people in your team and who you are working on the UI part. One person is handling the login UI, other is handling the sign up UI. So you can use its collaboration feature where you can work both of you can work similarly on a single project. So it is also providing you with that feature, and here you can see that this is an example where you can create all the UIs totally from scratch. So these are some of the examples. Although you need to pay something to buy this software, but most of the time you may get a crack for this software or the software for free of cost from Google. So you can check that out as well. I would suggest you to buy the software if you want to use it for long time, or if you want to use it for creating your Flutter UIs or for UIs of any of your projects. So I would suggest you to buy it. Next one which we are having, which is an alternative for AdobeXD, is Figma. So Figma mostly provides you with most of the features free of cost and you don't have to pay anything for it, but it also has a pay plan where you can you have to pay some things, you have to pay some amount for getting or accessing some of the features free of cost. But if you are having a GitHub student partner program, or I don't remember the complete name, there is a package for Figma which is available where you are getting Figma Pro free of cost for some time, I guess 6 months. So you can check that out. Inside Figma also you can design various different UIs totally from scratch. So you can see that I have multiple projects added over here which are having some of the UIs which I downloaded or which I created. So let me show you one UI which I downloaded. So you can see that this is the UI for a chat application where we have multiple screens for the chat, for the messaging part, for displaying the users. So this is an example of a UI which you can create using Figma or using AdobeXD if you are using that on the other hand. So let me show you one more project which is present in my Figma. which one? Let me show you this one only. So here you can see that there are a total of 28 screens which are present for this app. So we have an onboarding screen, a menu screen, profile screen, message screen, this login again screen, forget password screen. So this is also another UI which we have created. You can see all the names of the UI present over here in the left menu bar, and you can toggle to each of these screen from this menu bar only. So this is the second thing which you can use, or the second alternative which you can use for creating your UIs totally from scratch if you want to work on the UI for any of your projects. Now let's move towards the part where you can get your UIs for free totally if you are working on some Flutter app or any of the Flutter app. So this is a platform which is known as Dribble. So you here most of the UI developers or UI UX developers have posted their UIs, and you can take a reference from those UIs, or if you can also use those UIs by letting the developer know that you want to use his UI and the app won't be in the commercial mode, or if it is in the commercial mode then he will be charging you something, but he will be providing you with the UI if you want to use it. Let me show you some of the UIs. Let me quickly log in. So I have opened my dashboard over here. Let me go towards the likes, some of the UIs which I have liked and saved for myself for taking a reference for the apps which I am developing. So here you can see that I have these many UIs which I have liked and added to my like folder. Let's look at this one. So you can see over here that how beautiful this UI is, and this UI is for a clothing app where a person is selling his or her clothing apparels. So this is for this. Now let me show you another one. So this UI is related to an onboarding screen where you are provided with 3 different screens, and you have to click on the next or the skip button to move forward or backward between these screens. So this is also another example of the UI. As I had already told you that you can take inspiration from these UIs, or if you are using these UIs commercially in a production app, then you can contact the developer or the UI UX person who has developed this UI, and you can ask him before using the UI in the production. If you are using this UI inside your app, like the demo app, or for displaying the users how to create this UI in the coded format, that I don't think the people have any issue with this, but I would suggest you to consult this people, consult the UI developer before using the UI in your app. So this was the way through which you can get various different UIs free of cost for your apps, or take an inspiration from the UIs free of cost if you are developing or if you are working on some of the app. Now let's move towards the last part of this video. So the last part is that we'll be developing a product showcase UI in Flutter totally from scratch. So you can see that this video. So this is an example of the UI which we'll be creating totally from scratch. So we'll be having a top widget which will be displaying best computer and by me, and on the bottom we'll be having a list of the images with a bookmark icon for like bookmarking the app. This functionality won't be working, but yeah, we'll be adding this functionality later on if we get a chance to work on this app again. So this will be the app which will be developed. Also, if you want to access the code for this UI, then you can check out my GitHub. It's harshkumar.khatri/product showcase UI Flutter for getting the code for this UI project which we are developing. So make sure to check that out as well. Now let me switch my screen and let's start with the UI part. So let's start with the UI part. Here you can see that I have opened the Hello World app or the Dice app which we have created in the previous video. So let me remove the code which we won't be needing for this video. We also don't need this init state and these variables. For the app bar, let it be for now, replacing this container and this floating action, removing this container and this floating action button as well. Now let's start with the UI part. So for the text inside the title, I'll be adding a home over here. Next in the app bar, I'll be adding a leading. So leading will be an icon which will be displaying on the top left of the app. So icons dot menu. Next I'll be adding an elevation. So the elevation will be 0 for this particular case. and adding some actions. So the actions will be having a padding, and it will be having a padding of all with the value of 10. Edge insets dot all with the value of 10 edge. Next, inside this padding we'll be having a child as a container, which will be having the height and width of 30 each, and it will be having a decoration. So box decoration, it will be, the box decoration will be having the color as colors dot gray with the variation of 800, and border radius as circular, border radius dot circular with the value of 10. And now for the child, yeah, so it needs to be border radius in place of border. And for the child of this container, coming out of this box decoration and adding the child as text to be 0, text displaying 0, saving it. Let me add something for the body, so save area for now, and this will be having a child as a container, saving it for now. So you can see that inside the app the things have taken place. It is displaying us with this app bar over here, and this text is being displayed. Let me add a center to this container, the alignment to be center, so that this text appears in the center of this container. Alignment dot center. So here you can see that this has also taken place. Let me change the color of this as well, the app bar. So the background color will be equals to colors dot transparent, and setting the background color of this scaffold also as transparent. So this will be making the screen as blank, and now you can see that the home and the what we can say menu icon and the 0 text is also being displayed correctly. Now let's move towards the body part. So inside the body part we have already added a safe area. So what safe area basically is, you can see that inside our app we have this notification panel on the top, and then the part is displayed. So what safe area does is, it will be displaying your app in only that part of the section which is not including the notification area. So here you can see that I have a notification area. This notification area or the components of the app won't be going or extending to the notification area, rather it will be remaining only to the app screen, and the notification area or the notification panel won't be harmed because of the components which are present or being displayed in the app. So that's why we use a safe area to keep the components restricted to the app screen only. And for the child of this safe area I have added a container. Now inside this container I will be adding another child as column. So the child of this container will be a column which will be having different childrens inside it. The first one being a container again with the width of double dot infinity. So it will be taking the available width, like total width which is available for the app, and the height of this will be 250. For the decorations of this container, let me add them as well. The box decoration thing, and this box decoration will be taking the border radius with the circular radius of 20. So border radius dot circular with the value of 20, adding some commas so that it appears in a formatted way. Now after the circular border radius we need to add an image. So I'll add an image of type network image. It needs to be network image, and inside it I'll pass a link. So you can pass any link from Google or from Unsplash or other websites which provide you with an image. So let me copy the link. So for this image, before adding a network image we have to add a decoration image, and then inside that we can add a network image. So decoration image this will be taking an image, and then we can add a network image here by adding a fit inside this decoration image. So fit will be equal to box fit dot cover. Let me turn on my internet connection as well, so that the network image is displayed and we are not getting with an error of server not reached. So here you can see that as soon as I have saved the app, the image is being displayed on the screen. Now let's move towards the child of this container. So for the child of this container, we'll be having another container which will be having decoration, and it will be taking box decoration. Now this box decoration will be having a gradient, and we'll be passing a linear gradient inside it. Inside the linear gradient we have to pass a list of the colors. So let me go to this colors. It will be coming inside the list, and for the colors, the first color which I'll be passing is colors.black, but with an opacity of 0.4. Next will be a colors.black with the opacity of 0.2. And adding an alignment so that adding the begin and the end part so that the colors are displayed accordingly. So begin will be equal to alignment dot bottom center or bottom right. So you can see that the image is being displayed. You can see that gradient part which we have added is being displayed on the image or above this image. I don't think we need an end part over here, as it will be ending automatically on the top part of the image where the image is ending. Now for this container, the internal one, we have to add a child for it. So adding a child as a column. So child will be a column, and this column will be having the main axis alignment set to end, and then adding some childs or children to this column. So this, the first children it will be taking is a text displaying best computer, adding some styles to this text, and the color will be white. The font size will be 35, and the font weight will be font weight dot bold. Here is a typo, let me fix it. Text style, and for the font weight colon. So you can see that the best computer is also displaying. Next widget which we need to add inside this column is a sized box with the height of 30. I guess 30 would be fine. And next, adding another container is a child inside this column with the height of 50. And decorations, color will be equal to colors dot white, and next adding a border radius. So adding circular border radius with the value of 40. So it has also displayed. Now inside this container, for the child of this container, we'll be adding a center, and it will be having a text inside it. So child as center, having a child as text, displaying the text will be displaying by now, and adding some styles. The text style color for this text will be colors dot gray with the value of 800. And apart from it, it will be having font weight as font weight dot bold. let me add some margin to this container. So margin edge insets dot symmetric with the horizontal value as 40, saving it. Adding a last child inside this container, which will be a sized box with the height of 30, so that it provides some space from the bottom as well. Yeah, so the first widget or the topmost widget for this container for this screen has taken place. It is displaying best screen and the buy now button. The buy now button won't be doing something when we are clicking on this buy now button. Now moving towards the next part of the app, let me move outside this container, and after this container I'll be adding another child in the top level column, which will be of a type sized box with the height of 10. Let me close this container over here. Yeah, so after this sized box, adding another widget which will be of a type expanded, and it will be taking a child as grid view. So we'll be displaying some items as a grid view, and it will be taking grid view dot count. The cross axis count will be equal to 2, and after this we need to add some padding. So the padding will be 5 from all sides, so edge insets dot all with the value of 5. The cross axis spacing will be equal to 10, and the main axis spacing will be equal to 10 as well. For the children's, we'll be adding the children's from a list, so underscore list items, we'll be adding the children's from this list. So let me create this list over here on the top. So it will be a final list, as we won't be changing the value from this list, which will be having elements of type string and name as underscore list items. Inside the list, the items will be of type images, so I'll be adding the URL of 5 to 6 images over here. I have copied this URL from Unsplash, so you can also go on Unsplash or any of your browser and copy the images according to your convenience. Now let me go back to the list items, and after this, adding dot map, I have passed this E. Rather than passing this E, let's pass an item which holds some more value as a name of a variable, and replacing this null with a card, and at last adding dot to list. Yeah, so now let's work on this card for displaying the items from the list as a card or as a widget. So firstly, the card will be having the color as colors dot transparent. After this, it will be having an elevation of 2 and a child as a center, which will be having a child as a container. Decorations for the container will be having box decoration, and this box decoration will be having a border radius, as border radius dot circular. Border radius dot circular with the circular value of 20. And for the image, we'll be having decoration image, which takes an image, and we'll be displaying an image from network image, as we have passed the URLs inside the list. This network image will be taking the item which we are passing over here. You can see that we have passed an item over here to map the items from the list inside this card widget. So it will be taking an item from that and adding a fit for the decoration image as well. So the fit will be equal to box fit dot cover. Saving it and seeing how it looks for now. So you can see that the images have been displayed from that list which we have created. Now let's add some more things to this images. For after once we have added this fit after this box decoration, let's add a child as well. So the child will be of a type transform dot translate, and it will be having an offset value set as 55 comma minus 50. So what offset is, I'll be telling you. Let me add it first. Minus 50. Yeah, so inside our app we have you can consider this particular widget. uh, you can consider this particular widget which is present over here, which is having best computer. So to the top left of this particular widget we'll be having 0 0, and as soon as we'll be moving towards the right, or we'll be moving towards the left, the size or the offset will be changing, like the x-axis and the y-axis for the widget will be changing. So we can assign the values of the offset for the changing values of the x and the y direction, and according to that offset, the image or the widget which we want to display on the screen will be displaying accordingly. So that's why I have added the offset as 55 and minus 50 for the widgets to be displayed on the basis of this offset. Now let me add a child for this transform.translate. This child will be having a container, and this container will be having a margin. The margin will be of type as insets dot symmetric, which will be having the vertical value as for 65 and horizontal value as 65 as well. Next, adding some decorations to this container. Taking box decoration, and this box decoration will be having border radius at first. So border radius, border dot circular, border radius dot circular with the value of 10. And then after this, adding a color to this decoration only of colors dot white, and lastly adding a child for this container which will be of a type icon. So icons dot bookmark underscore border underscore let's keep it border only, and size of this will be 15. Yeah, so now you can see that the images have been displayed, and the bookmark icon which we have added has been displayed as well. So you can see that for the offset, if I am changing it to be 65 in place of 55, you can see that this bookmark option will be shifting accordingly. So as I have added it as 65, it has moved the option slightly towards the right. Let me fix it back. So yeah, this was for the offset part, and now we have completed the UI part. We have displayed the images from the list by mapping them accordingly to the card widget. We have added a container over here, which was the first widget which we have added for this screen, which is displaying this best computer and buy now button. We have also added the home and the what we can say actions inside the app bar, and the leading icon as well. So this was for this UI part. If you have got to learn something new from this particular UI and from the things which I have covered in the first part of this video, then make sure to drop a like. Also comment down below what you have got to learn, and subscribe to the channel for getting all the latest updates related to the videos which will be posted for this Flutter development course. A new video is posted every alternate day, so make sure to subscribe and be updated for the same. Share this video with your folks or with the people who want to learn Flutter, or in the communities where people are talking about Flutter, so that they can also get started with Flutter from scratch. And don't forget to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description. So they are doing amazing work. Make sure to check them out as well. And see you in the next video where we'll be creating another beautiful UI. So make sure to check that video out as well. And thank you for watching this video.